Hello everyone, this is Anil Kumar. So let's try to understand what really happened in the Spring Boot application. So we have created a Spring Boot application. We have given a web project JPA. Those are things being added into your dependencies for the Spring Boot application. So what we discussed is this: the starter parent would give you a kind of base related all the kind of jar files, and these are the types of jars that it would give you. So we go to the Maven dependencies section actually. So if you try to understand, there is a Spring Boot starter data JPA 2.2.4. Okay, all are 2.2.4 versions if you observe. So these are all Spring Boot related jar files, but these Hibernate core, we haven't added any Hibernate, but it identified on the runtime in the when you use a GPA or H2 database, it needs a runtime Hibernate core related, and it suits 5.4.10 as a kind of compatible version to the this particular Spring Boot project. So this automatically identified and incorporated in its class path, and also similar to there are Hibernate related jar files, and if you come to the bottom, and there are Spring Data JPA 2.2.4. Okay, all Spring Data Common, Spring Aspect, Spring Boot related some jar files, Log4j related jar files. So automatically it identifies the dependency necessary jar files. If you see, there is a important one, embedded Tomcat. See, this Spring Boot project would come with embedded server. So you no need to install Tomcat and configure which port it has to serve, all those things. It would automatically comes the embedded servers. Okay, and also the H2 related jar files, and does this so on so much stuff. So while it is running, you need to make sure like it has ran properly, right? So what I do is, so I would try to, this is a web project, right? I just try to add one controller here. So let me create a new folder here. Okay, we have a Java Tech Spring demo, so where I'm trying to create a folder. Okay, inside the demo I'm trying to create a folder called uh, maybe one I'm trying to create a controller. Okay, controller, some test controller, whatever. Okay, test controller. Just click on finish to just make sure like our application is working. Let me create a Java class. Okay, Java class, right? So go back, create a Java class, go to new. Where is the class? Okay, class, Java class. You can call it as a welcome controller. Welcome controller. Okay, welcome controller. I just try to explain you kind of like I'm trying to expose this particular controller as a REST controller in order to test our whether Tomcat is working perfectly on the port whatever it is mentioned 8080. On the below it mentioned the 8080, right? The request, whether it is accepting or not, I'm trying to test it. So REST controller, click on control space. It would try to see whether this particular REST controller is in class path or not. Yeah, we have a this particular annotation is available. I'm trying to make one method, public public welcome. Okay, kind of welcome method. uh, we need to use one annotation called request mapping. I think if you see the web related Spring MVC related videos, we have used this annotation. This is nothing new. So it's a kind of a same Spring only. It's a kind of a extension. The way how we create rapidly the application phase is different in Spring Boot. So the request mapping would be similar to like Yeah, probably I'm trying to give the request mapping for this welcome welcome controller. Let me import the request mapping here. So org spring framework, okay, welcome. Maybe I'm trying to return a simple welcome message, okay, return some welcome message, welcome, welcome spring boot, okay. Let me see whether it's working perfectly or not. We need to check it. This is basically a REST controller where I'm trying to invoke on this particular annotation on the 8080 port. So the URL for this particular mapping is localhost 8080 slash welcome. That's it. So let me run this application, and also to just to make sure like our application is running, I'm just trying to create a system mode also, whether our system mode is correctly working or not. Spring boot application started something. I'm just okay, it has started all the kind of server related execution of statements it has given, but I am given my custom execution also. I'm just trying to restart this particular application. I just running the public static void main. So let me run this and open the console. Let's observe what is happening here. So I will explain what these all these things are a bit later, but let's try to see. Yeah, our console statement has been printed. I something it is working, but what it is working, we'll need to deep dive. Let me open our Tomcat server. So I'm just typing login host 8080 login host 8080. This is the port, right? What is our URL? Welcome. So see, what is the message that we have got? Welcome Spring Boot. Beautifully our work Spring Boot first application, whatever we have seen, welcome controller, this started getting into the our port, whatever we have given in the localhost 8080. This is our first Spring Boot application, which was like as exposed as a REST controller, which is listening onto the 8080 port. So we will deep dive and see what exactly happening inside, how it is able to pull this data and all. We'll try to understand it more in the upcoming videos. Thanks for watching my video. Please click on the like button if you do like it. Thank you.